How's everybody doing? My name is John, and welcome to Addiction. Today I'm sitting with Vincent. He was on the show a few weeks ago with all of us talking about agencies and better ways of where we can change some things. Today, unfortunately, is starting with a somewhat of a negative energy, I would say, and it's tough. A few weeks ago, if you remember, I had Jeremiah, Davion, Vincent was in the corner over here. Unfortunately, Davion has passed away. On October 30th, early in the morning on the way to work, I received a phone call from a great friend named Cody who said, hey, he's passed. I didn't want to believe it. I headed to the home. It was true. Davion, unfortunately, made a choice in his life where he did OD. He was strong. We don't know why he did it, and it plays in my mind every single day, and I can't stop thinking about it. His management skills were phenomenal. His friendship skills were phenomenal. The way he connected to people was phenomenal. The voice alone was phenomenal, just as phenomenal as his music. If you don't know, he loved music. He played the piano. He played the drums. He was in the band in school. He made beats like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
And every time he talked, you just knew that energy was there. He had a sparkle in his eye that said, hey, it's me, it's Davion. I'm here for you. And he'll tell you that. Last Sunday, he was at my home. We had a talking about some future goals. A few days later, I saw him talking about some music in his vehicle. And then the call came in on the 30th. I give praise to his family, and my prayers are with him. May his memory be eternal. That's something us Greeks say. And we want him to be here forever, even in spirit, to make sure that we fight and we keep fighting. His death put more wood in my fire to keep fighting this addiction, to keep helping more people, because I'll be honest with you, myself and nobody else saw that coming. So, his friend Levi also passed away with him, but we're going to fight, we're going to keep on fighting, and Davion, we miss you very much.
Man.
We miss you. Everybody misses you. So, a phenomenal man, unfortunately, is now gone. We'll talk a little bit about that more later. As of right now, we're going to transfer over to Vincent. Vincent struggled with sobriety as well. Vincent has a strength about him. Vincent communicates, he does things he needs to do to kind of stay on that A game, which I think is wonderful. So, Vincent, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. But just like you said, we having a rough week, man. We lost Davion, we lost Levi, and them was two of my close friends since I've been in sobriety, man. I can't say nothing bad about them dudes, man. They was shining like how you said, good people, good energy, you know. And then here one day, going the next, making a bad decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the worst part. Like you're here one moment and gone. Like to see him gone the same week, I saw him a couple times, and he was happy. It didn't make any sense.
Right, I was in communication with him. You know, we was talking back and forth, and you know, he always had good spirits since I met him.
Mm-hmm.
Since I met him, though, so I think I met him it was last year sometime, probably about a year or so ago, a little longer than that.
I think it's hard too, because I know he went to the other house. He was going to clean it up, lock the box down. He had his whole plan of action going, none of it adds up for me. And I don't think I'm never going to get the answer of why. And I don't think any of us are going to get the answer of why this happened. And I think that's really devastating too, because you want an answer. We want to know why. But unfortunately, we're never going to know the answer. So we have to honor him and the spirit he was.
Most definitely. Hey, another thing, I think even if we get the answer, we'll still be like, why?
I know.
You know what I mean?
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. So, let's talk about you. Davion's here in spirit. I believe he's sitting right here watching us.
Most definitely in the room.
And your fight. When did your fight start?
Uh, 16 months ago, I was I was out here. I'm from Oakland, California.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've been in and out of trouble my whole life, but that wasn't nobody else's fault but mine.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I came out to Vegas about 8 years ago, looking for a new start. But if you don't have no other way but your old way of living, that's the first thing you go back to. You know what I mean? And about 16, I've been clean for 16 months, man, since June 26th last year, and I was already like, I was around the wrong people asking for help. I'm around people I've been out here in these streets doing dirt with, doing drugs with, talking about, man, I need some help, man. They like, what you mean? You need some more money? I'm like, no, man, I need to get away from this. You know what I'm saying? And I had man, thank God for the officer that took me to jail. You know what I mean? I don't know where he is, who he is, but you know, that was my day, man. And I went to Hotel CCDC for about 10 days, and I just, I was reflecting on my life. You know what I mean? Reflecting on my roller coaster ride, my ups and downs.
Is that officer local here?
Yeah, most definitely.
For the officer, do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name. I was under the influence the day he took me to jail. I was under the influence, man.
I know you can look him up. I think you can look up your case. It'll show you officer of arrest.
Right. Hey, I most definitely want to try to find that dude.
Let's find
he don't. Hey, look, I know he don't. He probably he forgot about me, all that, because I went in on a warrant. You know what I mean? I went in on a warrant. I was on the strip. I was on the strip at the by Ari or something, and I went to jail for a warrant, and I was there for a few days. You know what I'm saying? I was reflecting, and a lot of stuff was weighing heavy on me. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I can't go back to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at my lowest point. Like, a lot of times in my life, I've been in prison 5 times. And, when I thought I was at my worst, the best things happened to me. You know what I mean? And I let substance abuse and alcohol get in the way of my destiny. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, man, they was about to cut me loose from jail. And I told the public defender, I was like, man, I need some help, man. He's like, man, we're gonna let you go right now today. What do you mean you need some help? I'm like, man, I'm on drugs, man. I'm like, they told me to stay off the Las Vegas Strip for 6 months. I'm like, I don't got no ID. You know what I'm saying? I just lost all my stuff. Somebody had broke into my storage and I had a claim. I lost all my material things. You know what I'm saying? But my mind was on, man, I need to get some help. I need to get off these streets. You know what I mean? And I need to start doing something else. So they had some people come talk to me. And then they said they was going to try to give me some help, put me in a program. And they said they was going to send me to Freedom House. Mm-hmm. They said they was going to send me to Freedom House. And I had told them, because everybody's like, well, what's going to happen with you, man? But I thought you was getting out. I'm like, they supposed to come. But I didn't know what program they was going to send me to. So Freedom House is in the same neighborhood where I was running and gunning at, man.
Right, right. Yeah.
So it's like, hold on, so y'all gonna put me in a program right where I was at? Like, I had a trap house right here. My friends is in the alley. I told the public defender, no, I don't want to go there, right? And I think it was one person ahead of me, a lady older than me, you know what I mean? And I heard the judge, I gave her a bunch of chances, like about 15 chances. And I was sitting back thinking, I never got a chance like that. I'm like, well, the judge like, well, they said you go to Freedom House. Are you gonna go? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go, because I told him no at first. You know what I mean? So when I asked for some help, I didn't know what getting help even looked like. Right. I didn't know what it felt like. Right. But I just knew when it was all on me, it was the same results. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm gonna leave it up to God. God didn't put me there for nothing. You know what I mean? But it wasn't no overnight even thinking like that. You know what I mean? I went in there, I was broken, I had a lot of grief. You know what I mean? Just like we lost Brother Davion and Levi. I lost brothers and sisters out there in them streets. You know what I mean? My little brother OD'd and died. You know what I'm saying? When I was in jail one time. And my sister was like, he died and you're in jail. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I wasn't really even thinking about how that affect my family members.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't think about. I think a lot of people don't think about the importance because people say, I'm using, it's messed up, it's a disease. I get all that, the structure around it, but people don't realize that when you die, it's not like it's over. It's like you just caused more pain for other people who cared about you.
Most definitely.
But no one thinks about that.
Right.
For example, like when you got arrested and you were on drugs, you're like, I don't remember it now, I was high.
Right.
But so how do you think about or my mom or my dad or my sisters or whoever? You don't think about the long span of who you're hurting.
I didn't even have that spark or idea till I went to Freedom House and I started getting some therapy. And I started sitting in a group with people and talking about my feelings. Because I was living a closet lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I was closed mouth. We don't talk about our business. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that. That's how I was living.
Of course.
So it took some time of even, being real uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Feeling like I'm a dirt bag. I got 1 day clean. I got 2 days clean. You know what I'm saying? It started.
What makes you feel like a dirtbag though? Here's the thing, because you automatically don't think you're a dirtbag. You know you have a problem. So what makes you feel like I'm a dirtbag? Is it other people that express an energy upon you that makes you feel like this is who I am?
Not really, because, like I said, I didn't have my ups and I didn't have my downs.
Okay.
So, me in my mind's eye, the vision of me seeing me when I was up, and now I'm down and I got one outfit on. You know what I mean? I got donations coming to me. You know what I mean? It's like I don't feel like that me that I saw when I was top tier in my life. You know what I mean? I just didn't. I was feeling. I had no low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? I was worried about what people thought. Oh man, he got the same clothes again. Even though we all in treatment, he got the same outfit again.
Right.
But it's like I had to stop worrying about what people thought about me.
Isn't that kind of amazing though? Like you're fighting a struggle in sobriety, but yet you want to keep your fashion up to date.
I'm worried about how I look.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm worried about because when you're not focused on yourself, you worried about every little thing but you.
That's
You know
called
what I'm
self-care.
saying?
That's self-care.
That's self-care. And
Yes.
I had to sit down a lot of nights up in there, man, and think about what was really going on. Like, man, I need to get myself right. But it was these conversations and opening up to people when I wasn't no open book. And then it was like, man, I started being around people that was similar to me. I started looking at the similarities. Okay, well, his sober date is 5 years ago, but his story is like something like mine's too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the only one with issues. And it wasn't until really I got a sponsor. I got an AA sponsor because I was going to meetings, but I didn't want to be in the meetings. Like, I couldn't wait to get out that room, man. It was like, my soul was like, I was trying to, I was crying. Mentally, I was crying like it was killing me.
Right.
But it was like, letting it out was something like, I couldn't get it out.
I love groups.
Right.
Because I did a lot of groups. But what I loved about groups was the fact that, it's to help yourself. But what I loved about groups is that people in the room, even who didn't want to talk, opened up because they started hearing emotional people around them.
Right.
So it's like I'm not alone in my emotion. And they would feed off each other.
Yeah.
And it became like a self-structured, client to client, we're going to do this together thing. And it was so amazing to see the changes. You always have a few that don't want to change. We get that. But to see the connection between clientele when a group structure say, hey, man, we got this, man. That support is so deep.
Right.
That it really does create a lot of change.
Most definitely. It was that fellowship. People would come in when I was in the inpatient program. People would come in, you know what I'm saying? They'd come in, whatever they had a day a week that they would come in. They had meetings every day, and it was mandatory meetings. You know, and I had never mentioned no AA meeting. It was something I saw in a movie or something. My name's Vince, and I'm an alcoholic. I wouldn't even identify. I wouldn't even say. It was like I wouldn't want to look in the mirror and say, "Man, I'm Vince, and I'm an alcoholic, or I'm an addict." Like I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Even though I knew it, I couldn't do it until I could do it. You know what I mean? And getting in that repetition and being open and honest with another addict or another alcoholic.
Right.
You know what I mean? That one on one, he's being straight up with me, I'm being straight up with him. Like things change. You know what I'm saying? Once your mental change, anything can happen. Once you set that old you to the side, and you know it's like that third step.
Well, let me ask you this question. Now, you manage your home, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Being around people going through the struggle still, is there any type of triggering factors dealing with those kind of elements you used to kind of mingle with?
Most definitely. Like once I got out of the Freedom House program, I still go there every day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I know somebody could probably look at me like how you can reach people that I can't reach, or people can relate to me and some people can't relate to you.
100%.
Like I had no problem putting it all out there. Man, how long you been sober? I've been sober a week. Man, that's what's up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people wouldn't even attempt to get sober.
No.
They wouldn't
a day sober.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like
100%.
they would go lay on the ground on the dirt, but they wouldn't go up in there and get no help for themselves. Asking for help is the best thing I ever did. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my mother this week, and somebody back home passed. And, you know, they was asking her, how's Vince doing? Oh, he's in Vegas and he's doing good. You know what I mean? He's working. And I was telling my mom, I'm like, God is good. Remember when they used to ask where I was at, and you'd be like, well, he in prison. Or I don't know where he is. I haven't talked to him in a long time. You know what I mean?
So is your mom proud?
Most definitely. She said she's extremely happy that I'm in this phase of my development.
That's
man.
awesome, man.
You know what
And
I mean?
you said 16 months. Right?
I've been sober for 16 months.
Yeah, that's like, it's huge.
Right.
It's huge. Like
Every day is huge.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. So now let me ask you this question. So you're in housing and someone brings drugs in the house and you find it. Let's say you found drugs in the house.
Right.
How would that trigger you? Would you dump it? Would it trigger you? Would it make you think negative thoughts? Or would you say, hey, what the hell is wrong with you? We're going to get rid of this right now.
We most definitely, we're going to take a picture of it. We're going to get rid of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then we're going to take the appropriate steps to get somebody some help, because right now I'm privileged and I'm appreciated at the job where I have. So I find stuff when I'm out working. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, you know, when I was at a different...
What do you do?
I work for a commercial property service.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And I clean up after homeless people.
Oh, so you find a bunch of
You know what I'm saying? And I find anything's liable to happen.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And I was saying I used to clean up in prison for free. You know what I mean? So now I get paid. Now I'm a supervisor at my job. You know what I mean? I had 4 jobs since I've been clean. I worked at AMPM. I did flagging. I cleaned swimming pools. Now I had this job, and I'm like my boss she's 30 years clean. You know what I mean? Wonderful lady, and it wasn't no accident that we crossed paths. You know what I mean? When you in these positive social circles, you know positive things gonna happen. When you in them negative social circles and it's negativity going, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But it's solid principles that I stand on today.
Yeah.
You know, so that make things a lot different for me. You know, and it's like I never even. Who would have thought? You know what I mean? That me putting one foot in front of the other, doing the next best thing, being of service, like all these things I was hearing about, start being like norms in my life. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm privileged enough to even manage a sober living home. They can't. I tell my buddies, I'm like, man, y'all counted me out, man. Y'all thought I was, man. I heard you relapse, man. What? What? I wouldn't want to do that to myself, man. I wouldn't want to do that to my peoples. I know what that's gonna get me. Let me keep doing this. See how far I can take this. You know what I mean? Because this is the only thing that's working for me.
And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people, see, you found a way to keep moving forward no matter what the risk was, right? That's what it seems like. Most people will make steps forward and then they get nervous that it's too good. So they take 2 steps back. They hold themselves back. I've noticed a lot of people that do that. Some people even turn their back on their progress because it's not what they know. They know the negative energy that they put in their life. So some people don't keep pushing forward to see what their future looks like. It's almost as like, I'm afraid of what my future looks like. I know what it is now, what I've been doing.
Right.
You know, but now I'm going to keep moving forward. And some people are afraid to do that. And you were not afraid to do that. And I think that's why you have been so successful in your sobriety. Honestly. You know, you can ask a lot of people. I know there's people 4 years sober, 5 years sober, 3 years sober, which is phenomenal. But the move forward, you can't teach that.
Right.
People think that you can teach moving forward. You can mention it. You can recommend it.
Right.
But you can't teach them. You can't grab the legs and keep moving. You can't do it.
Right.
You know, so for you to actually say, no, we're going to keep moving forward is an absolute blessing on yourself. So, I mean, that's phenomenal work.
Right. And, like, when I share stuff with people and I give them my thoughts, I'll only say through my experience.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Through my experience, the things that I've experienced, the things that I've seen a lot, I heard a lot. You know what I'm saying? But through my experience, this fellowship is important. But it's these solid principles that no matter what happens, I gotta stand on this because this is the only thing that make my life better, that keep me positive,
Right.
that keep me smiling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was out there and I was in the streets and I was out there messing up, you know, I was like, man, I hope I never lose my parents or something like this happen because I'll probably go crazy or something like that. So when I was about 6 months clean, my mom got real sick. You know, she was in the hospital. She couldn't talk. She got COPD. She couldn't talk. She could barely breathe. You know what I'm saying? And I put it in God's hands. I talk to God. I'm driving. I'm talking to God. You know what I mean? I usually talk to somebody that don't know nothing. But it's like, God is all I got, really. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm here for a reason. I never knew what my purpose was, but I know a long time ago, one of my uncles, he was like, man, what you want to do? I was like, man, I want to help people. I don't know how I'm going to help them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I could even get a job or even be around something like that, somewhere I feel good doing, but it's like, it happened. Like I say, man, I know you sober. I know you having trouble, but things always going to happen. You
Well, I
know
will
what I
tell
mean?
you
It's how
this.
you deal with it, though.
The best substance abuse counselors are the ones who went through the substance.
Right.
You know, and that's what you can actually do. I don't know if you know
Right.
that.
I mean, you know, I've been talking to people. You know
can
what
do
I
it.
mean? I want to do it.
You can do it. And it takes such a passion. I think a lot of people don't realize the passion it takes to really help other people. I mean, you're not hearing a whole lot of positivity sometimes, but to deal with that and show a passion to what they're going through takes a lot.
Right.
You have that energy. I'm going to tell you that right now. You have it. Okay? Don't question the steps you need to make. Just make the steps so you can continue to help other people make push through.
Right. Right.
You know, so yes, 100%. Like you can do a whole lot of things.
Right.
So, well, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's hard. I think now it's really hard. I think because of what happened, but it's hard to see the unfortunate result of this situation of addiction. And,
Right.
And to deal with that from a personal level is very difficult.
You know what? We all we had our hang-ups in life. We had our shortcomings. Mm-hmm. And, one of my brothers in sobriety, I was in sober living. at the time. You know what I mean? Brother had his one foot in front of the other, doing the next best thing, going to meetings, doing everything, that being of service. And then one day, hey man, we need some Narcan, man. He OD'd, man.
Yeah.
And you know, we run, we save him. You know what I mean? And he was doing good, and then we lost a brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So now what do you do? So now you work, you see a lot of things, you find a lot of things, you got the managing and stuff like that going on with the houses, you're helping people, you're trying to think about what your future looks like. So how do you maintain, now this is the important part, how do you maintain your sobriety? Like what allows you to stay focused on sobriety? What is your main thought?
Okay, remember I told you I go out and I clean up.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I be in my mind. You know what I mean? I'm an overthinker, John. You know how
I hear you.
you know they say, man, some people in life play checkers and some people play chess.
Correct.
So it's like I'm always thinking. Even when I was in the streets, I was on some slick stuff. You know what I mean? Scamming and doing all this other stuff. But now I try to keep my mind focused on the right things. And if every time I start overthinking about something, it happens. Or, you know what I'm saying? I try to stay connected with the right people because, you know, I can't do it by myself, John. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it alone. And I'm not afraid to reach out and call somebody and talk to somebody. And some people do, man. You know what I mean? I talked to one of the brothers that died, girl, and she was like, he had a problem expressing his real feelings to people, man. You know, and it's like, we never know what people going through internally if they never open up or if they wear that mask and it's always a smile, but they really crying inside. You know what I mean? You never know what nobody going through, man. That's why I always try to, you know, hey, brother, you know, hey, sis, you know what I mean? I always, how you doing today? Everybody not asking people how they doing today. No, man, how you really doing today, man? You know, you never know what people going through, man.
Well, you know what they say about males? I don't know if everybody's ever seen these things, where it says, when you ask a man if they're okay, they always say, I'm okay. But it's never an I'm okay. Sometimes it's not. It's just a way a male just says, I'm okay. You keep moving on.
Hey, I know that,
You know?
John. But
Yeah.
you know.
I say it all the time. There's things that go through my head. You good? I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
But in my head, not so good. But I got to process it. Because the problem is, if I can't process it, I can't expect you to. You know, if you talk to me, hey, you know, John, well, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. But in my head, it's not happening that way. So if I say, you know what, man, I thought about it. It's kind of where I'm at. And someone goes, okay, yeah, man, I hear you, bro. Like, blah, blah. And then you start talking. Because I figured that part out. It's an itch I got to figure out. And when we start talking, you start to evaluate things amongst somebody you can trust talking to. You know, and that's another big thing for me too, is trusting somebody you can talk to.
You know what, John? My first sponsor, my first sponsor took him through the 12 steps, and then he relapsed. Right, he went back out.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I mean? And
It
you
is a
know,
lot.
yeah, man. So it's like, man, this guy that taught me all this stuff, you know what I mean? That got me even on a whole nother thinking wave. You know what I mean? That got me treat every woman like she's your mother. You know, no matter what type. You know what I mean? That got me being able to even talk to people in the room and not be thinking about something else and be real respectful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when I was asking him, was he all right? He wasn't really saying what was going on.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, that'd be hard. You know what I'm
But
saying?
here's my concern with it. Okay, mostly I hear sponsors have overdosed. I hear a lot of sponsors this, sponsor that, sponsor that.
Yeah, my sponsor overdosed. He's still alive, but
that's what you hear, right?
Right.
So my concern from me, I think clinically, is it the fact that they're sponsoring so many people through addiction that no one's still sponsoring them? Like I get lost in making sure you're okay. But
Right.
no one's asked if I'm okay.
What about you?
Correct.
Right.
And a lot of people go through that. I'm wondering if that is the trigger. Like, do we have to change the dynamic of sponsor? Like, you're going to sponsor these people as all you got. Don't want you being overwhelmed. And I'm going to sponsor you to make sure you're straight while you're handling them. I think that should be a strength created. Because for me, listen, I was going through a lot of things personally, even with clinically, with things going on. And
Yeah.
I'm helping everybody.
Right.
But in my head, I don't know my answers. I help you, but I know my answers.
Right.
You know, and I am that close up guy. Not much to say. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out guy.
Right.
You know, and I'm thinking, if someone's right there by your side, say, hey man, what's up? Because if you have that one person who knows you, as your sponsor, as a sponsor, right, someone up there, they know your energy.
Right.
You see what I mean? They know your energy. Something's
Right.
up.
Right.
Something's
Something
up.
up. That's what I was thinking.
You already know.
I'm like, man, something. What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right, man.
Yeah.
You know,
It is not all right.
no, it ain't.
It's not all right.
Your mom called me looking for you. It's not all right.
Yeah. Mom should not be calling looking for you.
Your girl called me, and I don't even know how she got my number. It's not all right.
Yeah, you better start with that. I don't got my number.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, but you know the thing is like, you know, like even with you, like, you have a great energy. So if I saw you again, I'm like, yo, what up? And you're like, I'm all right. Nope, no, Vincent, no,
Right, no, it ain't.
Mm-mm. They go ahead and shut everything down. What's up? You know what I mean? Because you got to know.
Right.
You got to know.
I was trying to explain. You know how little kids like when they start talking and stuff, they like super honest. Like, don't tell Grammy this. Oh yeah, this happened. We got a dog, and it's like I done got back to my little kid stage of being honest. Like, how you doing, man? I'm fucked up, man.
This is true. I was doing an addiction class, and a lot of the women in my class didn't understand what they needed to do. They said, I want my kids, and I need my kids, and I need my kids. But some of them want to get over it, right, through the groups. One day in class, I said, you know, your children are dogs. You know that, right? They're like, what? Call my kid a dog? All that normal stuff.
Yeah.
I said, no, think about it. Think about it.
No matter what you do.
They said, what do you mean? I said, when you're sick, and you lay on the couch, what's your dog do? He'll run up to me like snuggle me, because he knows you're sick, because you don't feel good. When you're happy, walk around the house, what's your dog do? That fool would follow me around the house, wagging his tail the whole time. Want to be with me. Right. So when you're sick and on the couch and your kid sees you sick, what's your kid do? The kid sit right next to me. Ain't that some shit?
Right.
And then when you're happy walking around the house, what's your kid do? You see?
Right
it's the
behind
same
you.
exact
Same
thing. I said, like, I never thought about that. Well, of course not. No one thinks of it. No one's going to walk with, hey, your kid's a dog. You know, no one does that. I do. Because I want you to understand the other development of what's happening here.
Right.
People are like, so one girl in the class said, so basically I just gave up my kid dog almost like for adoption, basically, is what you're telling me. One person in class said that. I said, why? They took my kid and I watched it get taken away. Just like a dog get taken away by the animal control. Just like, you know, there was CPS and that was my animal control. And they took my kid away. I said, okay, I see, and she started to cry.
Right.
I said, okay. So here's the biggest question I'm going to ask you. What have you done to go claim your child back? What have you done? And she's like, I'm sitting here. How much does that do? You need to be here, but how much does that do? What should you change? And everybody looked at each other. It was crazy. All of them looked at each other. Every woman was like, fuck, shit. And they're like, I gotta make some changes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, when your child gets taken away because of what you've done, they could adopt your child out. You're gone. You lose parental rights.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Well, if you're bad to your dog, they take your dog away, you're done, you get in trouble. Right. Same thing with your child. So everybody's like, I gotta do it. And a lot of them got their kids back. I was so proud. But it took that deep thought to evaluate for you to say, oh. And that's one thing I will tell everybody, because everybody says, John, you do things very differently. Because I am not by the book. Right. I am not by the book. Especially because of addiction, mental, I am not. Because by the book keeps you here.
Huh.
And don't take this the wrong way, I don't want to keep you here.
Right.
You shouldn't be a lifer. You should live independently, be happy.
Right, I want you to grow.
Yeah. Talking about, you know, build this and build that. No. Get the hell out of here. There's somebody I want to see you doing good things. That's what I want to see. That's my payment.
Hey, my my therapist that I had used to do one-on-ones with, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "It's gonna come a day we're gonna have to break up.
Yes.
You gotta live. I want you to go out there and live your life. I want you to everything that you've been showing me and applying here. I want you to do that out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?" And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I think I called her this week when the brothers passed away, man. She was just like, cause she knew him too. You know what I mean? She was just like, I'm at work. I need to step outside and go to my car. Like I can't.
Yeah, it hurts, man. When you hear something that dark. When I left the home that night, and I left, I was driving to my office. It was a tunnel.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of anything. There was
Right.
the windshield that was just like this.
Yeah.
And I was just in thought, man. And it hurt. It took me a little minute to get started back on work. I got people waiting for me over there to do things for them.
Yeah.
But that is a sense of energy you can't just shadow out.
Right.
You can't do it. You know, I will say this, though. I have sat back and I have thought about people in my life that have come into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God for it. Because people don't realize that, you know, it's weird. People thank me all the time. I say, don't thank me. Don't. And why not? Because you're teaching me. You see, everything I show you, you show me. There is no one-man party.
Right.
Success comes to a team effort.
Right.
And this is what it's supposed to be. And I'll tell you, Davion, he brought that energy every time I talked to him.
Right.
Every time I talked. I was like, dude, I'm really upset. He goes, yeah, man, I get it, but we can do this and do that. I'm like, yes, we can. You know, people in my circle upset me sometimes, and he was the one that was like, nah, I got this, bro. Just almost like to do is slapping you on the back, his little massage, calm down, bro. You know, that was Davion, you know,
Right.
and I can't stop seeing his face. It's always in my face every time I go somewhere. I could tell you right now that dude is coaching people in heaven.
Straight up.
100%.
Straight up.
100%. He is something I might never find again, never meet again, but it is a pleasure of knowing him. The unfortunate circumstance happened. I wish it did not. But we are going to do some great things, and we're going to do it in his light.
Right.
Every home, I have his image. I don't know if I could pull it up and show you guys if you'll see it clearly or not. Let me see here. And I'm sorry, I'm on my phone on the camera, but I want to show you guys. This is, if you can see this image, that's Davion. He was sitting here a few weeks ago. This man, it's a dream come true to help people, and unfortunately, circumstances got him. Okay. I will say this. One thing I want to say before we start talking about a couple other things. I am completely happy with everything you've done. You keep going forward. You keep pushing your steps forward. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. You continue to make moves. I think you should look at becoming a substance abuse counselor.
For sure.
You got an energy. You got an energy. Help these people. Okay? And then when you say I'm 16 months sober, you don't say it to say it. You have an energy that comes out when you say that.
Right.
Some people are like, oh man, I've been sober a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? But you're like, I'm 16 months. You know what I mean? Like, you're in it.
Right.
Okay, so that energy is what people have to hear. Telling people how great they're doing with their addiction, even if it's a week or a day. I do the same thing. I'm with you, man. And they got to hear that positive reaffirmation. They have to hear that because, unfortunately, as we all know now, the circumstances are quite unfortunate.
Most definitely.
So thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
I want to continue doing shows. I want to keep you on here. I want you to show these people what's up. I will say this. I am going to somewhat end the show in a little bit of a way that I want you to understand. Just because you see an addict doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Right.
They're not. Some people need redirection, just like we've all needed redirection. A kid in a candy store will run to the candy section. You can't get mad. You know, if someone goes to addiction and they're in a bad neighborhood and they go, oh, there he is using again, well, they're in a bad section. They're going to go right to it. You heard Vincent say, I went to Freedom House. It's right in my block where I got all my stuff, but I did it. There's choices to be made. Don't look at somebody in a bad way because they're on the street. Don't look at somebody in a bad way because they chose to use that day. Don't get upset. Don't think they're going to do something bad to you. Don't think anything. When people ask you for a buck or two, you don't want to do it, I get it. I'd rather buy you food. I understand completely. However, don't ignore them. If there's a way to get to these people for them to understand that change is here, you can help them through it. Not everybody's going to accept the change. I will tell you that now. Let this feel long enough. Okay? I have people of mine that have fought addiction. I have people of mine who, in fact, who are in surgery rooms that have helped addicts who burn their skin off in the summertime because they pass out on the street. I would hate to see that for myself, but he sees it. I think that this is a lot of understanding that has to happen with addiction. The word sounds dirty, but the results can be clean.
Right.
Just like anything else. I will tell you right now, with all my blessings of my heart, that I will never see Davion as an addict. I will never see Levi as an addict. Hell, I just recently met him, very kind. Anybody who has passed away I will not see as an addict. I will see him as a person who unfortunately made a choice that took their life. And please understand, no matter what choice you make, there is a consequence. If you choose to use, your life is at risk. Some things you can't take back. If you rip your shirt, you could buy a new shirt. You lose a hat, you could buy a new hat. You scuff a shoe, you get mad, but you can get a new shoe. Hell, you might try to clean it first. No matter what you do, but if you use, sometimes you can't come back to not use. Please understand what it is. Understand Narcan and how Narcan works. Know how to use it. You can use it. There is a law that will help you help somebody off these streets. If you can carry one, please carry one. Help these people. I will say this, that next week I'm gonna see who I'm gonna get as a surprise on the show. I'll put the video up. And I will say, with the show Addiction, Davion, Levi, I miss you. I can see all the Facebook misses you. Your friends miss you. Your family misses you. Please carry on and help those who have forgotten. And if you are an angel of the heavens, set your angel wings around those out here right now on these streets that are struggling to make that change, so that you guys can meet at a later date than right now. Thank you, Davion, for all you've done. Thank you for the lives you've changed, the things you've done for people. Many blessings. We love you. And thank you for watching.